23 years, all four members of ABBA were finally seen together in public at the recent Swedish premiere of Mamma Mia. Agnetha, always missing from the post-ABBA picture, had decided to re-emerge tentatively into the public eye.
Men du, det här snacket om garbo och allt det där då, det gillar du inte heller, förstår jag?
Nej, det har ju inte kommit från mig. Utan det är ju återigen någonting som media har skapat då. För att, ja, varför man gör det vet jag inte. Men det är väl som ett straff då för att jag inte har visat mig tillräckligt ofta.
In 1997, Gert van der Graaf moved from Holland to Sweden to become Agnetha's neighbour. Within a year he had become her lover. The relationship lasted for 2 years before Agnetha finished with Gert.
2 years. That's a long time. And it's a mystery to everybody how she could have stayed with this man.
Wat nou eigenlijk de echte oorzaak is van...
I couldn't understand it, not then and not now.
Naar op zoek eigenlijk.
I never really understood why we broke up.
Ik heb de beslissing genomen om gewoon...
So I decided, despite all the security around her home, to go up to her house.
Dus ik belde aan gewoon, keek wel...
I rang the doorbell, looked her in the face, and I said that I wanted to talk to her. Without opening the door, she shouted, "I want you to leave."
Ik wil dat je weggaat en... nou.
Miss Feldskog made a report to the police where she told us that she was harassed by Mr. van der Graaf, and it was both by visiting, by sending letters and by phone calls.
Gert continued to phone, send letters and follow Agnetha. In 2000 he was arrested and taken to court, charged with harassment.
When Mr. van der Graaf was arrested, he first was found at home, and 2 police officers brought him into the police station. Meanwhile, there were other officers searching through the cottage where he had lived.
Emerging details of the case sparked a tabloid feeding frenzy. Reports even implied the police had found a bucket of Agnetha's feces in Gert's house.
Het is een wc daar is niet met een...
It wasn't a toilet with running water.
Dat spaar je op en dat...
It was a sort of bucket into which he would throw some grains. I certainly wasn't saving Agnetha's waste.
Dat is Agnetha natuurlijk ook op geweest, natuurlijk. Logisch.
Nothing in the investigation showed that it was Mrs. Feldskog's poo. I just think he can't keep his home in order. I think that was the biggest problem.
I talked to him, why did you do it? And he answered me, because I want to live with Agnetha Feldskog. I love her. I have loved her from I was 8 years old, and then I followed her all my life, and I want to live with her.
Miss Feldskog might be a very lonely person. She's a shy person. I got the feeling that she didn't know that Mr. van der Graaf was actually what I would say sick.
Van der Graaf described their relationship as Romeo and Julia. But in the investigation, Agnetha Feldskog talked about Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll.
Gert was convicted on 10 counts of harassment and deported from Sweden. 2 years later, in 2003, the terms of the judgment had expired and Gert returned to Sweden, where he resumed his attempts to contact Agnetha.
Standing on this parking place when we saw him, so I blocked the road here and called the police. And I went outside the car, tried to talk to him, and he ran me over. I was back into my car again, and I was chasing him. I blocked Gert's passes. I went out in the car, and I pulled Gert out of the car, and I punched him, and held him there until the police arrived.
After a final court hearing, this time without Agnetha, Gert was again deported.
Mr. van den Graaf, he's not allowed to contact Miss Fältskog in any way, neither by seeing her, letters or phone. If he take any contact with Agnetha, then I think he will be sent away for prison.
Den här mannen som förföljde dig, är du utsatt för honom nu?
Jag vet inte om jag kan gå in och prata för mycket om det. Jag tror inte att jag gör det. För av säkerhetsskäl så kan jag inte göra det. Så vill jag ligga lite lågt där.
Är det här någonting som bekymrar dig?
Ja, det är det. Det är det. Men det är ju så, man har varit med så här länge också, så blir man ganska luttrad i olika situationer.
Does she kiss? When I used to kiss you, does it feel the same when she calls your name?
Mijn toekomst afhangen van...
My future depends on what happens when my deportation order from Sweden expires, and when the ban on contacting